it's incredible when you look at how much of life, it really is chance. I mean, yeah, this is all true, you know? Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Some of it is more true than others, but all of those are to a certain degree are going to be true. But like I was talking this morning to somebody. Did I ever tell you guys how I got hired here? It was a trip. I came in and I think I told you I was student teaching in this room, and my master teacher, Mrs. Hall, she left. I'd only been here like a week or so, and then this guy came in and he had a walkie-talkie and khakis and a t-shirt, and I looked and he kind of walks in, he's like talking to the students. And I asked one of the students, "Who's that?" And the student said, "That's the principal." I hadn't met the principal. I go, "Really? What's his name?" They go, "Braddock." I go, "Okay." So I walk over to the guy and I kind of get in front of him a little aggressive. I go, "Well, can I help you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm the principal. Can I help you?" I said, "You know what? Actually, yeah, you can help me." He goes, "Oh, really? How's that?" I said, "I'm a student teacher. I'm looking for a job next year." He started laughing. There was just something about the way he carried himself. I just thought, I'm going to throw up a flag and see if he thinks that this is funny. And he did. He thought that was hilarious. Turns out he was an athlete. Played sports, played football, played baseball. You were more likely to catch him at a football game or a baseball game or a volleyball game or a track meet than you were to catch him in the office. He didn't really do this because he liked the administrative part. He just loved the sports aspect of everything. And so when I said that, he started laughing and he goes, "What's your name?" So I told him. He goes, "Okay." So you're with Hall. I said, "Yeah." He goes, he laughed. He goes, "All right, I'm gonna keep my eye on you." I said, "Dope." And then like 2 months later or so, I was over in the office, and his office used to be right next door to the copy room, and I was making copies. And he comes in. He goes, "You're from Los Angeles." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are you a Dodgers fan?" I said, "Huge Dodgers fan." He goes, "All right. Back in 1988, Kirk Gibson hit a home run in the World Series. If you're a sports fan, if you're a baseball fan, it's like one of the iconic moments of all sports history. It's a long story." And I go, "Yeah, everyone knows about Gibson's home run." He goes, "Everyone knows about Gibson's home run. Who was standing on second base when he hit the home run?" I go, "Oh, Mike Davis." Now the reason I know that person is because when I was growing up, we had like favorite baseball players, and that was like always a star athlete. And we always picked like a second favorite, and that was like a nobody who was on the team. Mike Davis was the guy who was my nobody, who I liked. And so I just happened to know that Mike Davis was standing on second base. So Braddock says, "Oh my guys, I've never met anybody who knew that." And he's like, "How do you know that?" I go, "Sports fan." It's easier to say that than to explain what I just told you. Turns out he was friends with Mike Davis. Yeah, and he goes, "I'm going to tell Mike about that. He's going to be thrilled that you knew who he was." And I said, "Oh, I appreciate it." So he goes to leave. He goes, "Hey, by the way, don't tell anybody this, but we have 2 openings coming up next year. I'm gonna get you one of them." I said, "Oh, I appreciate that. That's dope." He goes, "All right, no problem." He disappeared. I never even applied for this job. Yeah, I was when I got this job, I didn't think I was going to get this job because I hadn't heard anything, and that's the way they normally hire. They call you like a week before school starts, and they're like, "Hey, you want a job?" So you don't know the whole time if you're getting hired or not. So I was up in Los Angeles, and I was interviewing at a school called San Marino High School. I turned off my phone. I went in there. I did the interview. The interview was brutal, and I came out, and I was just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be at this school. This school sucks. It was like a really, really wealthy school, and it was a long process. But they came and they offered, it was like a 5-hour interview process. And at the end of it, they sat me in a room. I sat there for like 45 minutes, and then the whole panel came in at once, and they were coming to me like they were going to offer me like the world. And they go, "Well, we'd like to offer you the job." Like they were just blessing me with this amazing thing. And I said, "I appreciate that." And they're like, so we'll see you coming up?" I said, "I don't think I'm a good fit for this place." I didn't think I was a good fit for the place. And I knew the school before I got there, but there was just something I just said, I don't feel like I belong here, man. So I walked out, and I was thinking about other things I could do, and I turned on my phone, and I had a message, and it was from the school district, and they said, this one, and the message just basically said, "You came recommended by your principal. He wants to hire you. We wanted to see if you could come today to do the paperwork." And I was up in LA, and I'm just like doing the math. I'm like 2.5. Oh yeah, I can. I called them. I go, what time do you guys close? They said 5 o'clock. I said, oh dope. It was like whatever it was, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I said, I'll be there. So I drove from LA back down here and did the paperwork and all that. So the reason that I am your teacher, and therefore in control of your education, and therefore your future life opportunities, is because I knew that Mike Davis was standing on second base in the 1988 World Series. I literally never felt that. In fact, I'll leave it at that, but I literally never applied for the job, never, because you can't apply for a job. You can't apply for the job unless you're already a teacher. So they have to you know how some of you I'm sure had that at the beginning of the school year where you have like teacher A or something like that, and that person who's subbing, they have to wait until all that stuff goes through before they can hire anybody. So now, fast forward, about 2-3 years later, I guess it was, we had massive budget cuts in the district, and they were laying off teachers. The way that they lay off teachers is the newest teachers go first. The ones who are the most senior are the ones who get to stay, which sucks, because who are typically like the most jaded and angriest teachers? Yeah, the ones who've been there the longest. They also make the most money. You could hire 2 new teachers for the cost of 1 senior teacher. And then the ones who are like the newest, the most energetic, excited, who teach, who do coach sports and stuff like that, those are always the first to get laid off. So the layoff notices came out the pink slip, and they just said anybody who was hired in the last 5 years is getting a pink slip. And about half of the people who get pink slip will get laid off. I was like, man. And so I waited and waited and waited. No pink slip ever came. I was like, well, I'm not gonna say anything. And I found out why a pink slip never came. Because I never applied for the job. So I wasn't on the list. I was employed. I was getting paid. I was on that list, but I wasn't on the seniority list. So when they did, they pulled the seniority list and they start laying people off from the bottom up. And so because I wasn't on that list, I never got a pink slip. So I was incredibly safe. It occurred to me, I'll never be laid off. This is a permanent job for life. I never have to, if I was ever worried, but I don't have to ever worry about having a job again. Because I knew that Mike Davis was standing on second base in the 1988 World Series. That's the trick about life. You can never tell what's going to matter and what's not, what's going to be beneficial and what's not. And one day you'll just be sitting there and you'll be thinking like, wow, that was good luck that happened. That was good luck. Now somewhere, someplace in the country, there's, I don't know, a person driving a tractor trailer truck or something who had dreams of becoming a teacher, but he got laid off because he was the last guy on that list. But if I had been on that list, I would have been the last person on the list and he'd have been the one that was safe.
Man.
Bad luck for him. In that case, life was a zero-sum game. There was going to be 1 winner and 1 loser. Now, I don't know that there's someone driving a truck, but you get the idea that someone did get laid off because of that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I should go find him, trade places with him or something, but I'm glad I'm here. And it was just a matter of just stupid luck, man. Stupid luck.